What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the WUKONG Journey to the West, Son of WUKONG, created by WUKONG. That's right, my Azillions. The Monkey King is here with a bonus included. And I am very excited to finally get into this. I've actually had this for a bit now. I mean, not like a long time, but like at least a good month and a half. And just other things have gone in front of it. Maybe, has it been 2 months even? I don't think, it might have been. I can't remember exactly. I'll look it up and we'll report back to you afterwards. But this took a long time to come out. I actually had my pre-order for like almost 2 years. And with 5K Toys, it's just Fury Toys kind of reworked a few things, and then good on them for the weight. They included a whole other figure in this set, like kind of like a little minion figure. And by the way, this artwork is gorgeous here, and it's like kind of like foil embossed here. Very, very nicely done. The outer box is excellent, and this is a magnet around, and you see the beautiful, before we get to that, beautiful backdrop here, painted backdrop. Very, very nice on both sides. So that is gorgeous. And then you have, you know, the actual Monkey King figure inside this black box, and I'm guessing the other figure somewhere inside. It's supposed to be a much smaller figure. Now there is a deluxe set with like even more stuff, or you could have bought like a battle damage version, or you could have bought like a just like the accessory set, you know. But I went with pretty much the standard version of this, and again, I haven't opened this at all yet, so I'm really excited to finally get to it. And I've wanted like a more like premium Monkey King in the collection. Like I wanted to get the Four Horsemen Studio one, the Mythic Legions or Figure Obscura one, and I might still do that, like the version that's on Big Bad Toy Store. You know, it's actually like been in my saved for later for a while, but I kind of wanted to see how, you know, because I had this pre-order like before that, so I kind of wanted to see after the first Monkey King from Mythic Legions, like, you know, got sold out. So I want to see how this one went. I kept my pre-order for this, and you know, I was just like, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to it. This has been a very long-winded beginning to what's sure to be a decently sized review. So without any further ado, let's get to that review. So before we get to the figures, I just want to show you the instruction booklet, because I gotta tell you, this is really, really nice. You get a nice, like, classic watercolor painting of the Monkey King. It looks like right out of, like, old, you know, books and stuff, or just an old painting. Like, beautiful, like, historical looking. And then, you know, inside you get the regular directions, how to remove the head, the faceplate, to, you know, put in a battery, because this has a light-up feature. Which is very, very, very nice. And then you got some additional directions here, which looks like to be for the little extra guy. So pretty slick, nicely done, Fury Toys. So just to correct myself a little bit here, I thought, like, in my head there was a standard edition, battle damage, and a deluxe one, and then the accessory kit. And no, I was wrong. There's a standard and a battle damage, which comes with a boatload of stuff. And then there is, you know, an additional accessory pack with just a few items, extra items, should you want them. So, you know, you get like this back here, with heads, hands, the figure. And then you get this here with all kinds of stuff. Like I said, we're going to have a lot to talk about. And then additionally, we got an extra baggie full of stuff, which has the bonus figure and oh so much more. And there's our Monkey King out of the package, and I've indeed had it for, you know, almost 2 months here in hand. Maybe like a month and a half, but, you know, we're going to wait just a tad longer to get to it, because before we do, let's take a look at our little monkey soldier. which to me, I feel like is like, the young version of, Sun Wukong here, in my opinion. I don't know. It could be just like a little soldier guy, but I feel like this is the same character, done smaller. Look at the staff. It's like a mini version of what he comes with, and it's very, very nice. It's like, ornate at the ends. This is, oh, we got a little mess up over here, but it's all right. This is just red, and then, the other side is nice and ornate too. We get a pair of additional hands, kind of like pointing hands, just more little open hands, but kind of like pointing hands. And they're very, very nicely done. Really nice paint on them. Nice, fur detail. It's really cool. Even the nails are painted, so very nice here. And then the figure itself is pretty excellent for a little dude. You can remove everything here. So you can remove this. This is just a floating piece, and this. And then, you could possibly have yourself a Zuko figure. He does have a tail, which you'd have to remove. And the tail is, like, very, very stuck on my... I don't know if it's supposed to be articulated much, but maybe. I don't know if I'm just breaking it or if it's articulated. But the rest of the articulation, the head moves on a ball joint. The arms go back and forth. You have a swivel at the bicep. You have a joint at the elbow. Joint at the wrist, which moves. I think that's a ball joint at wrist, yeah. Then the upper body moves pretty nicely. Is there a waist? No, it just goes straight to the upper body. So just the upper body movement there. Legs only come out to that much. Kicks forward, goes back a little bit. You do have a swivel at the top. Oh, very tight on that one. Hinge at the knee, which can rotate as well. Hinge at the foot, can rock it and stuff. So, not bad for a dude at all. And honestly, this guy looks really, really nice. I like the proportions. I like the tail. You could definitely use the tail as like, a little stand, which, is always helpful. Tail looks really good. Nice sculpt, nice paint on that. There's like little bits of like yellow, like, over like the browns and kind of like wash on this guy. So it's pretty neat. Toes look really, really good. Let's zoom in just to, show you. You can see all of that again. Very nice. Do like the legs. Really good. Again, you can see the yellow over things. It's like a very light yellow. Might be coming up a little bit darker on camera, but it's pretty light in my opinion. Then he's got like kind of like these leaves tied around him, modesty, right? And I do like that they sculpted the leaves to go around the tail. That is cool. Really, really nicely done. Like the kind of clothy parts are just done in plastic for this little dude. And I appreciate that. And I'll be honest, like, and you guys know who follow the channel. I like that better. It just ends up looking like what it's supposed to be better than the actual cloth does, in my opinion. Yes, that sounds weird, but the cloth on the figures does not really move and look as right with soft goods as plastic does, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, the plastic always looks like what it's supposed to be, better. And it fits the figures better, So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. I've always had this opinion. But the tie around the neck looks really cool. And again, it's because of, like, the way this is tied, because of this. To me, it feels less of a soldier and more like a younger version of Sun Wukong. But this is real nice to tie. The body in total looks pretty good. The little fist hands look nice. I like how the fur detail looks on the arms there. It's kind of like pointy in a way. It's pretty cool. And then the head sculpt is very, very nice. Looks like a nice little dude. Or mischievous, I don't know. I think he looks nice. We have seen more mischievous faces on the actual Monkey King, but I think this is pretty nice. The ears look good. The eyes look pretty good. The nose, the mouth, you see a lot of shading and stuff. Pretty cool. I might have some like little dirt or something there. A little cut in the paint, maybe. I like the hair. Again, it's very similar. So to me, this is a younger version. That's what I'm going with. I think it looks fantastic. There's a lot to like about this little figure. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you get this, you know. And as far as how big he is compared to the Monkey King itself, there you go. He's leaning back a little bit, but you know, he's scrunched down, so he's a lot smaller than the Monkey King, which is actually really big. But we aren't there yet to get into all of that because we have so many accessories that I'd rather just go through real quick. We have a lot of hands. Like, really, really cool. Again, beautiful sculpts. We have, like, open hands, kind of like maybe like martial arts looking hands. We've, you know, discussed that stuff before. Even more, like, kind of ready to fight type hands. More like holding hands here. Creepy hands. A lot of hands, but no fist hands, which is interesting. You know, you could use one of these hands as fists, but no, like, completely closed fists. You know, haven't seen a couple of reviews as I was waiting for mine. Like, I kind of was like, yeah, I get it. You know, I get that being, you know, something, you know, people are complaining about, but, you know, it is what it is. We still get a lot of hands. It's, like, hard to complain completely with the amount of stuff you get here. But yeah, yeah, some people like the fist hands. I don't necessarily need it personally, but these look good. And as you see, like, around the wrist here, you have this beautiful, like, gold with, like, kind of like a patina looking charm there, or bracelet, I should say. So really nice. A lot of hands. Not only we get hands, we get feet too, which I'm not going to switch out. We get shoes, kind of almost little, like, pointy shoes. A lot of, like, depiction of the Monkey King does have shoes that I've seen, but I do like the feet better on him. I think it just works better. Like it's, like, hard to imagine monkey feet going in these shoes. But it's really nice. You got silver and gold in them, and some copper too. Beautifully done. You know, very, very nicely done. And then you get feet that are, like, more like crouched, like maybe if he's, like, you know, kind of like maybe hanging upside down on something, or it doesn't come with a stand or anything like that, so, you know, there's nothing really to do it here. But they look good, you know, like, I mean, you could almost mistake them as hands too, but they're not, you know, because the joint would go in this way, and I don't like that at all, so I'm never messing with the feet. We get 2 extra faceplates. First, we get this kind of, like, you know, just neutral almost face, or just kind of sad, I don't know. As you can see, they made the eyes kind of like the Jurassic Park, like, glass eyes, where, you know, kind of moves with you a little bit. You know, your mileage is going to vary on how you feel about that, but it's definitely unique. You know, like, it's pretty cool. And you see this gold here because that's part of the, you know, the light up stuff, you know, like, so you put the battery in there and then you put the other part in there, which is in the main figure, which I'll show you afterwards. But it looks good. A lot of nice, like, sculpt and paint on this particular one. And then to show you this one, I've also attached these, which is, you know, what this particular head, this is a full head, not just a faceplate. And I put this faceplate on there. You know, you got the same thing going on with the eyes. Maybe a little less, you know, glaring here. Like, you really can't see them. They're a little bit darker. Oh, they're darker because they're in. If I take them out, I think they'll be lighter. So I think it works a little better with them in the head than out of the head. Because it makes it just a little bit darker and less, like, weird looking. But as you can see, the face looks real good on here too. It's more smiling on this one. I do like it. And then you get this thing, which is, I guess, like the Monkey King's crown, right? You know, it's got kind of like a little fuzzy ball in front, and then this, like, silver oniony looking thing. And then this, like, gold, what looks like wings here, like, yeah, earrings. And then these giant, what look like giant feathers, in my opinion. Like, I don't know it. I probably should have looked it up. Coming out of, like, little clouds almost. And they are bendy wire, so you could actually, you know, shape them in multiple ways. But this is, like, you know, one of those looks of the Monkey King that, you know, you see a lot with, like, you know, this kind of, like, crown with these things. I don't particularly love it myself. You know, like, I like in, you know, without. So I'm going to use it without, but you know, get to show you this all at once is actually works really well. These look cool too in like black and yellow. We get 3 peaches. One is like a kind of like fuzzy flocked peach. So if you want a peach like that. And then you get one other peach which came separately. Like I think last minute they decided to give you a full peach that wasn't flocked. You know, extra bonus that wasn't part of the original, you know, solicitation for it. And then you have one where it's bitten, because these are like the peaches that give the Monkey King, or Sun Wukong before he's a Monkey King, you know, immortality. They grant them immortality, like immortal peaches. But they look real good. You know, very, very nice. There's the bite, which is cool. Now, I did see, you know, complaints about, you know, speaking of fruit, that this came with like a banana and also extra heads and faces in the solicitations. But if you actually, the problem was Fury Toys released solicitations for, you know, the Monkey King Standard, the Battle Damaged, and the accessory pack all at once. The banana and some of the extra heads came in the accessory pack. I think, personally, some of those solicitations were actually, like, messed up in translation by some of the retailers. And, you know, it made it seem like, you know, some of these, like this one came with additional things that weren't there. But if you really look at, you know, the image, and it's there from the very, very beginning of the standard and the battle damage, it shows you exactly what came with those. So, you know, I mean, I think there's also, you know, some of the complaints are user complaints, to be honest, because, you know, didn't completely read it right. Some of it are solicitation problems there as well, but I did want to mention that because, again, I've seen that as a complaint, and I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't think some of these things came with it, because I knew all the different things that were coming with all the different ones, because I had to make a decision based on, you know, what I wanted from the figure. So yeah, anywho, peaches. You also get this vase, or just like a wine jug or something. You know, it's empty. But it looks really nice. Looks like, you know, classic and old. Really cool. Like, I like the shading on there. So that's excellent. We also get this little container, which I think this might be wine, because you get these little gold bubbles that come out from it. This one, you know, like, they could come out from it, and you kind of can lay them down like so. That's pretty cool. I don't know the significance of it completely, but I think it's cool. I think it's very, very well done. And I probably have it, like, I think it should go this way, because you see this is like a little weird. So maybe, oh wait, does this pop out? This, I'm wondering, oh, that pops out and that pops in. See, there you go. That's cool. That's really nice. Very well done. That makes a lot of sense. All right, finally, let's bring the figure in, but we're not done with accessories. First off, this guy comes with some soft goods. We get the cape, and we get these 2 sashes. The sashes, like, for the red, I'm guessing could go, you know, here somewhere, and you could just, you know, like, what he has, you know, when you look at the solicitors, it just kind of wraps around his body, and you could just, like, wrap it around his arms, but it just seems like, I don't know, like, why? Why do we need it? You know, like, it's just too much going on, in my opinion. Now, the red one's not in the solicitation at all, so it's just, like, extra, you know, and anything. It's just kind of extra. So you get, they would, like, last minute, they're like, hey, let's give this, like, red one, too. But I'm probably not going to use it. And then the blue one is nice, but it kind of just doesn't match the aesthetic. But the head with the crown, I think it goes better with that, because it's kind of like this little spot to kind of lean this on here. And as you can see, it kind of, you know, there's a blue here, so I guess that would work better. But then we got this cape that you need to attach. Now, that you don't need to attach it. Now, you're supposed to attach it by these little heart thingies over here. These kind of like Mickey Mouse looking heads. Right there. So you're supposed to pop these out, but they're very, very tight on mine, and I feel like I'm going to launch them. You guys know I have problems with that. So I actually just tied my cape underneath in this neck sash, and it goes really well. And it stays really well. It's a very, very, very long cape. And I've heard complaints about the cape. Oh, you know, what's we gonna do? But the cape is kind of just meant to, like, you know, it's bendy wired. So, like, wrap it around. Like, wrap it around the front. There's no issue here, in my opinion. That's pretty cool. It kind of makes the figure a little bit better. And on all of these things, like, the bottoms of these are, like, kind of, like, burnt almost. Like, bleached out, burnt, something, treated in a certain way and made them harder than here. You know? So just to give it, like, kind of like this interesting look. And you get that, you know, throughout. It gives it, like, this kind of, like, freight. Well, not the neck one. But all of these hanging have that same treatment going on. Whatever they did to the ends of these to make them harder. You know? See, it's the same cloth. But once you get down here, it gets hard. So, I don't know. It's kind of cool. It gives it like a gradiated look too. Old, like it's dragging around and stuff. Which it would be. So yeah, I mean, that works. And then again, you have all of these that look the same. Kind of like dark. Not dark, but like, you know, lighter on the bottom. Like they're bleached out or something. Again, treated with something. I don't know what to get it to do that. But it works. What's interesting is all around here, these are actually attached to the cloth. So all of these, you know, hanging armor bits are actually attached to the cloth on the bottom, which is very, very interesting. They all look great. Gold, you know, with, you know, some maroons and the blues. I guess there is blue on this guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a darker blue, so maybe I didn't notice it, but yeah, if you want, you could use it. Again, I think it's just too much, like, too much going on then. He's got a lot going on. You got these, like, ropes that, like, hang down. I don't know if they're supposed to be tied or they're supposed to be hanging out like this, but they are pretty cool, frayed at the bottom. And you got these, like, gold little things that, like, you know, at the end, like, little weights here, which look really, really, really good. There's, like, rings here in silver, a lot of silver and gold. That look amazing all around the waist. And again, it continues that motif of like blues and golds and just like ornate, beautiful looking stuff here. You know, fitting of a Monkey King armor. Here's what the back looks like. Now we do have this hole in his back, but nothing in this set that goes in there. So, you know, I guess a stand, right? Would have went in there or something. I'm guessing, but it's not something that comes here, which it's a bit unfortunate, but you do get a lot here. So you got this long one that comes down here in the front. Again, the blues look awesome. There's a little bit of red at the end here, you know, at the end of all of these, which looks really cool. Almost looks like blood at the bottom. So that's really, really nice. And then like the front of the belt here, look at that. Like, you know, it's kind of like one of these like demon-esque looking, you know, entities with the mouth holding the rope in the middle. How cool is that? That looks crazy. Really, really like it. And then you got the circular thing in the middle here. Looks like some, you know, sort of power source in the armor. Really, really nice. There's nice like shading to the armor too. Looks excellent. I love how the whole upper armor looks. Then you have really, really, really nice shoulder pads, which are on ball joints. It's pretty cool. Just kind of hangs down. It's not like over his shoulder completely. It's more like on his arm. But that's fine. It's different. I like it enough. I guess it's... Oh, wait a second. That's... Wait a second. You know, the whole time it's been hanging down, but I just realized I think this is supposed to be this way. There we go. I thought that looked weird. Yes, now you can see it's a face. Kind of, again, similar thing going on here. really, you know, devilish in a way. The blue on top looks, that looks way better. I don't know what it was, you know, I was just, you know, going with how it came in the, in the package, but yeah, that's obviously how it goes. Ah, that's so much better. Because, like, it looked weird to me. It makes, like, with these down, it makes, like, the shoulders and neck look super long. And the neck is long, but we're not going to look at it because it's all the way behind here. Just a furry neck. It's a little bit of a long neck. But with these properly placed now, which have to be like this, all, you know, upside down head would just be weird. Yeah, that looks way, way better, you know, overall to the aesthetic of, you know, his upper body going into his head. So that looks awesome. I do like that a lot. Both sides look awesome, and the, you know, rest of the armor, it looks really, really good. And then you see his, like, little furry elbow, which is cool. The front here, these straps look good. And then look at that gauntlet, man. That is awesome. Silver and gold again. A little bit of red in the middle there. It looks amazing. I like how it comes out here. And then you can see where, you know, that kind of bracelet I was talking about with the other accessories. Yeah, you can see how it goes down from that. That's pretty cool, into these, like, holding hands, which is awesome. We'll get to this in a little while. I know he's holding it the whole time, and we talked about all the other things, but in due time. That's because there's a gimmick to this guy that I want to do all together. Then, like you might have heard me talk about it before. Then on the bottom here, nothing going on with the Karashiji section. But the legs are nice and furry. Nice detail there on both. As you can see, they sculpted here. You know, you do see the joint of the knee, but, you know, it's a double joint, and in the middle it is sculpted. The leg armor down here looks really nice. Some, again, silver and gold. Which looks excellent. And then the feet look really, really good. Check it out. I see the back here. We got a tail to this guy, which is a little problematic. It's staying now, but I had a little, not a hard time getting it in, but a hard time making it stay in. It gets a little bit loose. But right now it's staying in, so let's not tempt the fates here. But the tail is a bendy wire, and I just noticed that the end of the bendy wire is kind of like showing right there. You see that? Ooh. Might have to try to do something with that. We'll see. But I do see glimmering right there. Maybe it's just supposed to go like this. Anyway, it's a bendy wire tail, and it's a ball joint at the end. So that's the first piece of articulation out of the way. Let's not go crazy about the tail. Like I said, it's, you know, it's not my favorite. Some people have a hard time getting it in. I had a hard time getting it in, but a hard time keeping it in after I got it in. So, and then last but not least, we have this head sculpt, which looks really, really nice. As you can see, it looks a little mischievous, and that's kind of like the whole thing with the Monkey King. He is a little mischievous. The eyes look pretty good. Again, it's got that thing going on, but this one looks a lot better than the other ones. The face looks really good. I do like it. The teeth look good. You know, this part, I feel like is lighter than some of the other ones, you know, as far as just the look of it. You know, that kind of pinkish. The ears look good. Hair looks good. A little gray in the hair. Getting old, the Monkey King. But I think he looks real nice, honestly. And definitely like this head better. I think, you know, the crown just gets a little unruly, in my opinion. He's an interesting looking figure. He's very tall. He's very, very long. This is definitely like one for like the taller figure shelf, like the NECAs and McFarlane's and, you know, those type of figures, the Super 7s, the taller figures, that type of a scale. He's definitely a very big dude. So if you're looking to, scale them with other things, or just enjoy your figure on its own, as its own thing. I don't know why people have such a hard time enjoying figures for what they are. A cool figure is a cool figure. And this guy is very, very cool. So we did a little bit of that articulation. Let's get that out of the way. It's a double ball jointed neck, which actually it's not. It is a double ball jointed neck, but it's like there's no actual neck articulation. It's such a long neck too. So that's weird. The upper body moves, but then we do have a waist as well. Very free moving, works really well. So that's good. We have a butterfly joint here, which is good. Can get it to go over pretty well with it. You have the regular hinge swivel shoulder joint. You have a bicep swivel. You have that double jointed elbow, which is nice. Then you have the wrists, which have a swivel hinge thing, which is cool. The legs, I can't get this guy to do a full split, which is weird. I would have figured for sure a full split out of this guy, but I'm not being able to do it. You could kick forward, you could go back, you could swivel at the thigh. But yeah, then you have a double jointed knee, which works really well. I don't know if you could drop this guy down a little bit. I heard somebody talking about that, but I don't see that there, so I don't know if that's a thing. The tail came out, man, boo. Hinge at the foot, and then that front facing rocker there that we saw before. So overall, the articulation is pretty good, but I think you could get this guy in a lot of poses. Here is the joint, the tail thing. It stays. Probably just needs a little filler. Very little, though, honestly. Anywho, I think this guy looks good overall. He moves really well. He's got weird proportions, but he's a monkey guy. So you got to factor that in. He's not going to have human proportions. So, I don't know. I think he's pretty cool. I definitely dig him. Like a lot, actually. And the more you mess around with him, the more you like him. But yeah, now we have a couple things to talk about. We have his huge staff, which kind of feels and looks like a pencil. It is tremendous. He holds it very well. Beautifully ornate. I like the red underneath. It's actually like translucent end here, and then it's painted gold. But beautifully done. You got some writing here, which you guys could translate for me. I'm probably not holding it long enough. But yeah. Looks really, 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 really nice. Now, these light up, and I'm going to show you what's in them to light up, because one of them I could not get to work right. You have these little things here, these little light modules, as they call them, which are pretty interesting, pretty cool. They remind me of old school light up stuff from the early 80s. There is a little thing that I just lost, a little cap that goes over this to light up. But I can't. Let's see. I have it on this side. See this little cap. You get another one of those little caps there. And what you do is this has to turn. You do have to do it manually. I did see somebody, was able to get this to turn on its own, but it lights up really nicely. It lights up that whole thing really good. I mean, obviously most of the light is right here, but it's pretty neat. Now, again, I couldn't get it to go on this side because this side, I think, is a little messed up on the inside here. There's a little, you can see right there. I probably need to hollow it out to get, the other light inside it. But I got to tell you, the other light, I was actually having a problem getting it to stay lit up. So that's, that's a little bit of a problem anyway. So I think that one's a little faulty. We could try it because I just found the other thing. So what happens is there's a little panel inside this thing, and when you put this against it, oh, it does light up. There you go. Maybe I don't know why it wasn't working for me before. It wasn't even staying right before, But anywho, I do have to hollow this part out because it's like not going in fully on here. See that? It's like kind of just getting stuck. So I do have to tweak it. I gotta hollow this out a little bit. But I think that's a really cool little system here. And now I could actually get this part to work. Interestingly, I did try to get this part in, and like I could just turn this around and get this to go on this side a little bit, but I'm not being able to get this fully in. So I tried to get it in, and now I'm kind of stuck. So that's a bit of a bummer. I'll have to figure that out. But I do think it's cool overall. Last but not least, we get this little magnet, which a lot of companies, and we've seen this before, have put like these magnets in other accessories, which I like better. You know, this lights up his eyes, which is cool. We saw like Ling Jae-hoon do it like in accessories, and I think that's way better than just kind of this magnet that's just hanging out. We can change the eyes a little bit here. I think that's like more reddish. And then that's off. That reddish. I think there's one that's like blinking or something. That? Oh, there. I think that's like... It's kind of blinking. I don't know what it's doing. It's kind of like... Oh, it's like going back and forth. That's kind of cool. It's getting red or yellow. That's awesome. That's really, really sweet. And then, you know, you just shut it off. So, yeah, light up gimmicks. Why not? And for size comparisons, first up here is our Monkey King with a couple of big figures like I was talking about earlier, like the NECA Howling figure and the Four Horsemen Studios Jersey Devil. And I think he goes really well. Now, like, his legs are bent here, so he's even taller than this. So he's even, like, closer. But to me, he would never stand up straight, in my opinion. Like, he would always be, like, kind of bent over. But just to show you, like, yeah, he's taller. So he's pretty tall. Like, you know, with the Four Horsemen thing, yeah. Pretty on level there. And for another comparison, here is the Monkey King with our just reviewed NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 figures. Yeah, these are cool. Yeah, he's much bigger than these guys, that's for sure. And luck be an Ultrazilla tonight, because somehow I found my League of Legends Monkey King, the only other Monkey King I had in my collection, without much fuss. I can't believe it. Anywho, here is, you know, our Monkey Kings together with our little monkey guy, too. I forgot to bring him in for the rest. But, there he is. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this Monkey King. I still do. I think he's really, really nice. I didn't find his staff, but I'm okay with just finding him. Yeah. I mean, this is a much nicer Monkey King. But this is still cool. I like that one. And my final thoughts, this is a heck of an awesome figure. Really, really nice. Worth the wait? Worth the wait, I think. You got a lot of stuff here. And I didn't really mention it, but like, I did mention that I got it at 5K Toys, but it was 60-something bucks. For 60-something bucks, the amount of stuff you get, and now it's not 60-something bucks at like BBTS, it's like 90-something bucks. So do yourself a favor, get it at 5K Toys if you're gonna get this. I recommend them. There you go. Because for 60-something bucks, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. A lot. There's a lot of accessories here. There's a light-up gimmick. There's soft goods. Like, you can't beat it. Really. I think the articulation is fine. You know, like, the cape is really cool. Like, again, like, you know, I don't have an issue with it. My biggest issue is the tail. You know, and, you know, for the most part, it's staying in. You know, like, otherwise, man, this is awesome. And you get that bonus extra figure now. Like, you can't get a better deal for a figure like this. It's just so cool. So I really like it a lot. I'm glad I waited for it. Does it preclude me from getting that Mythic Legions one, like, at some point? Maybe not, you know, because I've seen that one in person, and I really liked it, and I was just like, I kind of wanted it. But I'm glad I waited, because now I'm kind of like, I don't really need it right now, and if I don't end up getting it ever, I'm fine. Because this is pretty awesome. It's, you know, a little bit different. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, I'm happy with it. So there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you're new to the channel, why don't you go and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection, because you never know what you're gonna see on this channel. Till next time, peace out, peeps.